You suck at tryouts, but it's not because you can't play, it's all about your mental game. I'm gonna give you 3 tips today that are gonna sharpen up your mental game so that when you go for your next tryout or you go to your next showcase, you are mentally prepared and ready to bring your best stuff. So here's my first tip. You have to put your day in perspective, and so here's how I recommend you do this. You plan your next meal that you're gonna eat after your showcase or your tryout. Now, the reason that I say this is because we can get so consumed in the moment that maybe you're thinking only about your tryout and what are the coaches gonna think of me and what are the other people around me gonna think of me. And all that stuff gets you so wrapped up in the moment. If you think about something that is in the future, that is happening after your tryout, and you plan out your next meal that's gonna happen afterwards, it helps put into perspective that no matter what happens at that tryout, your day is going to continue and it's gonna be okay either way. By making plans for after the tryout and thinking about those plans even while you're at the tryout, it helps put things into perspective and takes the pressure off of yourself. Because the truth is, regardless of how you do at a tryout or a practice, the world's gonna keep spinning, nothing's really gonna change. So take some pressure off yourself, put everything into perspective. Tip number 2. Put in at least a few hours of extra work in the days leading up to the tryout. Now, the reason that we do this isn't to improve physically. Obviously, getting more work in off the tee and practice and all those things help us physically a little bit, sure. But the reason that we put in the extra work is so that it helps us mentally. Because the truth is, when you practice and you put in extra work, your body, your mind will start to believe that you deserve to succeed. And that's what you want. After you put in extra work, your brain's like, okay, we've put in more work than everybody else. So that means when I go to this tryout, I deserve to succeed more than everybody else. And it gives you this little like deep down boost of confidence. When you've put in the extra work, then you can trust your preparation and just roll with what you got. You are a much more confident player when you prepare. So don't hyper obsess over your swing and don't do all these things like, I gotta be perfect. Not perfectionism, but look at the extra work that you've put in so that you can trust your preparation when you actually get to the point of being tested. Now, tip number 3. Ignore everyone. Now, when I say ignore everyone, I don't mean like don't talk to anybody once you get there or be rude or anything like that. When I say ignore everyone, I'm specifically talking about ignore everyone else's performance, because here's the way this works. Usually, we'll go to a tryout and we're like, okay, I got to give it a little extra and show off everything that I got, thinking that it's going to make us better in that day and that somehow we're going to be 25, 30, 50% better than we normally are. But the truth is, you're probably not going to throw any harder than you do in practice. Like, you have physical limitations, and just in one day, you're never going to make huge leaps and bounds with your exit velo or with your arm strength. But we think if we try 25% harder, we'll get 25% more results. And that's simply not the case. And when you look at all the other players at the showcase, you'll be tempted to compare yourself with them and try to play up or down to their level. And so that's where, if you ignore everybody, those factors are no longer there and you're no longer tempted to try and compare yourself and do more than what you're capable of. So go to the showcase, go to the tryout as yourself and bring just 100% of what you got. Stay in your lane and ignore everybody else. This will help keep you within yourself so that you don't try to do too much. Because when we try to do too much, we deceive ourselves in thinking that we'll actually play 25, 30% better than we normally do. The reason I bring up the showcase prep and all that is because I actually got to try out yesterday for myself. So I got to try out these very things yesterday, and this was the thing that was the most helpful for me as I was going and trying out for the Savannah Bananas. So I get word whether or not I get accepted in November 1st, so stay tuned with that. In the meantime though, we'll see you guys next week, and I appreciate you guys always tuning in to RAC's Corner for some more tips. Thanks to HB Headbanger Sports. Hope you guys had a great week, and we'll see you next time.